Hello, good evening to all CYDES audience that is tuning in into Cyber Podium 1. We are now will be joining by uh, will be joining by Mr. Technologist Ame Haris Ahmad. He is the CEO of DNSVault, and the topic of his presentation today will be proactively mitigate risk towards safe browsing with DNS security. I will now pass the floor to Mr. Ame. Mr. Ame, if you may, I will excuse myself.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, thank you everyone for joining my session. So my name is Amir Haris bin Ahmad. I'm from DNSVault. So our topic today, or my topic today, is on a proactively mitigate risk towards safe browsing with DNS security. So I believe that when we are talking about internet, DNS play a major role uh, in terms of help user to access the server. So the domain name is very important. For example, we have .my, Google.com, and everything there. Everyone is using a domain name nowadays. So it's very important to have a security on it, on it and on browser. Okay, so about myself, previously I was with Mining Berhad, the .my domain registry for Malaysia. During my stay at Mining, I was in the R&D team doing research on latest technology, for example, DNSSEC, IPv6, DNSSEC for DNS extension, IPv6, ENUM, and a few other technologies related to DNS. So after that, I'm creating my own company, or I built my own company that focus on DNS product. I call it a DNSVault. So during my journey to until today, I have received a few honorees. So one is on the Senior Information Security Professional. So DNSVault is built under the trust that you can see here: security, relationship, and knowledge. Okay. So these are a few awards and recognition that we have won. Okay, we have Cybersecurity Company of the Year, Cybersecurity Innovation of the Year, and so on. Okay, so business requires secure web browsing. So we can see that everything nowadays need to access through browser. For example, checking email, doing e-commerce during pandemic. The web browser, I think that 80% or even near 100% user accessing web browser or any technology related to web browsing. Even right now, when we're doing video conference, you also access the web browsing instead of you're using native application. Web browser is very important. So during last year we joined the what we call it National Cybersecurity Challenge, where one of our product that we are focusing on protection, so critical asset protection, on how we are implementing our solution to protect end user by using DNS. Okay, so we can see that 91% of malware uses DNS in attacks. 68% of organizations do not monitor recursive DNS, even though you have a DNS in your organization. For example, in university, financial institution, and anywhere. I think that from the research we study, we can see that 68% of organizations do not monitor their recursive DNS. So 39% of companies requires more than 10 people to respond to attacks. 70% of attacks are UDP based, including DNS. So we can see that financial impact is huge, 27 million, the average loss for a 24-hour outage from a DDoS attack. Okay, resulting in revenue loss, customer detection, brand damage, data thief from smoke screening, and we can see it keep increase. So 51% DDoS target were also victim of theft. So how DNSVault ITP works? So in our solution, we have this kind of one of our element where we call it DNS firewall. So we can see from the picture, we can see that safe browse environment, meaning that if you have on my right hand side, you can see that you have devices in your network, maybe at home or office or in your organization. So you access, the first thing that will happen, actually when you open a browser, the thing that will happen is your computer will request for DNS resolution through the DNS server. So in this situation, the devices will request a DNS request to our cloud, with our cloud platform, DNS cloud platform, where we impose the security on the DNS. So if your client try to access malware.com, then automatically our DNS server will try to respond with a certain, maybe it will block the client request, or it will go to portal or to the page that saying that you are trying to access a malicious site. So that is the what we're doing right now. So everything will be logged, and then will be what we call it, will be straight away informed. Will be the investigator will be notified with the threats or the event. So the customer features, we have inside our ITP, we have URL filtering, malware and phishing protection. It's flexible policy creation, where you can create a policy, for example, maybe on time base or on the client, block IP of client and everything. So policy exception, you also can accept, maybe you want to whitelist a certain domain name, you can also do that. And then we provide reporting to the administrator. Web-based user interface. Yes, of course, we are providing web-based user interface. So key benefit, where we are 100% cloud-based, no software installation. Even though we have an appliance base, but for the easy part, you can have it on the cloud at the same time. Setup is very easy, setup and forget, meaning that you just point to our DNS server, and then that's it. It ready for to protect you. Control multiple location and routers. Of course, you can control it from our control panel. Scalable, can handle any volume of usage. Deliver all the reporting you need to control and protect. Work with any devices. Come without any compromise to speed. So this is how the methodology that works that we are using. So it detect, feed, enforce, report, and mitigate. So you can see that the internet, we have our solution, for example, on the cloud. So so every data from the from the harmful or bad actors, we get it through the what we call it data feeds. So everything will be updated frequently, and from the other side is a corporate firewall, PC server, database, VPN user devices. They are using our data feeds, or what you call it DNS firewall, in order to protect their users. Okay, so it will be report and mitigate, and everything will be reported to the administrator straight away, either through the alert. We can use SMS or email or any other channel. So where does DNSVault fit? We can fit on every location. For example, you have the network and endpoint, the big network. So you can point to our solution on the cloud, on our DNS server on the cloud, recursive DNS on the cloud, and then we can see you also on branches. You can HQ is very big implementation. Branches also can be done, and if your end user work from home, or any user that want to protect their home network, you also can use our solution on the cloud. So it's very easy to use. So this is ITP ecosystem. So if you can see that underneath at the bottom, you can see that we have the clients or organization. And we also, in our solution also, for example, we are talking about cloud recently, but at the same time, we also have on-premise. So it's hybrid, meaning that you can have the appliance or you can have it on the cloud. So the management can be done on the cloud or on the appliance. This is very important because sometimes our customer want to have their own the solution inside their own infrastructure, so we can actually implement it on your current infrastructure, or for the solution for maybe for the work from home solution we can implement on the cloud. So it depends on the customer. So you can visit our booth later for the explanation for the ITP solution. So we have analytics also, where we do the what we call it the data processing, and you can have a very detailed dashboard to see the current situation that you are having right now. So the solution right now that has been used by the right now university, some university, one of it is University Malaya, and a few by maybe one I can disclose it, but it is a government related bodies. Okay. So for our product, we already sent for the certification. Right now we have a EL2 for DNS Intelligent Threat Protection version 5. So we already undergo for the certification where it confirm or it certify our product on the function and some security features that we have. So for this, so okay, before I go to summary, okay, apart from the technology, okay, apart from the what we have right now, we call it a cyber, what we call it a DNS firewall. We also, I also want to stress about what we call it DNS security extension, DNSSEC, which is not inside the slide. However, DNSSEC is very important, also important in order to protect the end user, in order to, if, for example, you access a certain site, DNSSEC also help on the to verify the data or DNS data or the transaction from the DNS. So we also have that kind of solution where currently being used by the government of Malaysia. So apart from the solution for the what we call it DNS firewall, we also have a DNSSEC in order to to protect the end user that using browser that using browser from the threats. Okay. So for the summary, later I will take a Q&A. For summary, it is suitable for small to large company, including government, agency, UC, or even ISP. Yeah, the solution is very suitable. So meaning that we have totally on cloud, and at the same time we also have the appliance base. So the implementation depends on the organization itself. Okay, so so you can ask our representative, say representative at the booth. Is it cost effective? Of course, it's cost effective because we have on the cloud version. So meaning that to start the protection, you only just to subscribe on the cloud version. Okay, so it's very cost effective. Instead of you, it depends, but you also can have its on premise. We also have that. Um, so yeah, it's cost effective. Low maintenance, of course. When we are talking about cloud, it's a low maintenance. You just only subscribe our package. So I think that we start monthly. I think it's a monthly. Uh, pay, what we call it monthly. We charge on monthly, but maybe for certain for duration, maybe we can buy in bulks. So it can be yearly. Okay. Cybersecurity footprint. Okay, so monitoring and analyzing your internet traffic. So by using our solution, meaning that the client that try to connect to every domain name will be analyzed and will be monitored. So you can actually have, you can see that if maybe previously you don't have any visibility on the client access on the DNS or web server or domain. Right now, you can have that kind of visibility where you can actually monitor everything that related to domain name. Okay, so for example, if your user or client or your network try to access the harmful website, yeah, we can have that. Or it can be categorized, for example, porn or illegal or any website that inside a certain, we have a category of that. So you can actually analyze or know what your end user or your network end user doing. So it's very helpful. Okay. All right. So I think before we go I end my presentation for Q&A. So under DNSVault we have a few products that under DNSVault. So we have the secure DNS load balancer. So meaning that it will load balance the DNS query by using the load balance. Apart from that, we have a DNS analytic platform where it is involved with big data. In a normal DNS, you already have the what we call it the graph or the report. But if you want to have a very you want to have the very specific data or a very things that you want to analyze, you can use the DNS analytic platform. And we have DNS internet threat protection. I mentioned about you previously. We assemble it on the cloud, so you can use it on the cloud with a cost effective and easy to deploy. But also we can bring it on your what we call it, your network in order to implement the technology. Hybrid secure DNS platform. I'm talking about hardware appliance with cloud, so you can implement maybe certain important, for example, because you need to have hardware, and you can implement on your premise or your network, but you can manage it through the cloud. Or you can also have on the cloud where you can open it to the external, to the public or to the global network. Okay. So I think that's all from me from DNSVault. So I open for questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ame, for the presentation just now from DNS Vault. I will look at the Cyber Podium for comments and questions. We don't have any questions at the moment, Miss Name, but your video will be on demand in this platform after this session end, and I will put in the comment section your email address for them to contact you for any inquiries.
Okay.
Mm, we wait some more. Thank you, Same, for your time. See you next session.
All right. So, okay. Thank you.